It is January 30th, 2018. It is a Tuesday. My name is Bill McCamley. I'm a state representative from Las Cruces and Mesilla in the wonderful state of New Mexico, here in Santa Fe, the capital, giving you your legislative update for the day. So for me, there were three things I'd like to talk to you about today. First is in the morning, we presented to the Ag and Water Committee here in the House of Representatives on a proposal to take a whole bunch of money, millions of dollars, in fact, it's $50 million, out of what is called the New Mexico CAP entity. This is a group that is trying to dam the Gila River in Catron and Grant counties and use that water for about 200 farms in Catron, Grant, and Luna counties. That's where Deming is. The sponsored bill that I carried along with Senator Rudy Martinez from Silver City was to take that money out of that fund and actually put it into water and wastewater projects in cities and communities throughout the region. Why? Well, first off, the Gila River is one of our last free-flowing rivers in the western United States. And there are many of us that believe that there is value to the natural world. There's beauty in it, there's regalness in it, and it's worth preserving. The second reason is just dollars and cents. So these folks have spent the last 13 years and over $15 million planning out how they want to do this, and nothing's been done. They want to spend another $13 million in continuing to plan, and there's still no real action on how they want to do the dams or whatever. So there's about $50 million left in their fund, and moving that money to water and wastewater projects that real people need in order to lead better lives is a much better use of our money. This bill did not pass. All the Republicans on the committee voted for it, as well as one Democrat from Deming, who's once again really wants to get some of that water shipped down to their community. And a lot of this comes down to a real difference of opinion on water. There's the old school, hard Western whiskeys for drinking, waters for fighting over, and we need to privatize all water. Water's a commodity, versus a lot of folks that really look at it as more of a communal resource that we need to figure out how to use together. So that went down. We did have a press conference I did with Senator Howie Morales, also coincidentally from Silver City, about net neutrality. Now, what are we talking about here? It's about access to the internet. And the reason it's important is because what Donald Trump and his Federal Communications Commission decided a few weeks ago was to stop protections for three things. Number one is throttling. And what they did was say, if you're an internet company, you can't say, we're going to create a slow lane and a fast lane. So if you're really, really rich, you get to access the internet on a very, very fast basis. But if you're not, you crawl along. And that's really crappy for, if that happens, it's crappy for educators who have kids that they want to educate. And if you're in a poor school district, you're left out in the cold. And small businesses. So I spent 3 years working for a small business that required internet accessibility. And if we were not able to get the same kind of speed, because we were literally three guys in a garage, and we had to compete with the big boys, we could not do so. So making sure we have equal access speed-wise is important for businesses and educators. Secondly, it's really important that we not block websites. So other countries allow for internet companies to just randomly block websites, whatever one they want, for whatever reason. There's a whole host of reasons that's bad. The third thing that it protected us from was charging a la carte for internet services. So right now, if you've got your Mozilla or your Firefox or your Google Chrome or whatever you use, you can go to Twitter, Facebook, FaceTime, whatever, and use it without any kind of extra charge. What some companies want to do is charge you extra for Facebook and extra for Twitter and extra for FaceTime and extra for whatever. And these protections stop that. What we want to do is put these protections into state law. Since the federal government won't take care of it, we want to put that in. And we want to encourage the governor to make this a priority for the year. She has not done so, nor has she chosen to do what other states have done. For instance, the governor of Montana is saying, if you don't have these equal access to internet provisions, you can't do business with the state. And this is critical to 21st century America, that everyone has access to this. Otherwise, the gap between the rich and the poor is just going to get even worse. The governor has refused to do that. We're continuing to try to ask her to do that. We're going to ask the federal government to step in and create a law with these provisions, but we'll see how that goes. Lastly, we dealt with the thing over in Carlsbad. They're trying to deal with a brine well. So oil and gas companies, this company went and drilled a bunch of salt that they used to make salt water, which they used in oil and gas activities, and the whole thing is threatening to collapse. It's as was described to us, an area a football field wide and 2 football fields long, and it threatens roads, it threatens businesses. There's a church on there, and it could actually kill people. And this is a case in point for why regulations sometimes are really, really needed. You hear a lot of people say, oh, regulations, and they're so bad, and government regulation stops job growth. Well, if the regulations were in place to make sure that what these folks were doing was safe, we wouldn't be having to try to find $40 and $50 million to make sure that the city of Carlsbad stays safe and people don't die. And so there's that. The next few days we'll be doing the budget. I'll be talking about that then, and hopefully we'll be doing early childhood by the end of the week, and hopefully I'll have a conversation there. As always, if you have questions, comments, or concerns on these or any of the issues, I'd love to talk with you, and hope everyone's having a great Tuesday. Bye.